Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. So we're going to be working on a background technique, and we're going to be using distress oxide inks, okay? And a lot of times you've seen smooshing with people using the clear acetate sheets, stuff like that from packaging, but we're going to just use our mat. I'm using the tonic mat, and I'm just going to basically put the ink right to the mat. And then I'm taking a clear water and just spraying those down. And then we're going to put the paper right in to our ink. And I'm using the Holtz Distress watercolor paper, because you want a paper that's going to be able to withstand a lot of water. Okay, and in between, I'm going to use my heat tool to dry everything off and keep adding more ink. That's one of the nice properties of distress oxides, is you can dry them, continue to add ink layers, and you don't get a muddied brown, or because you're adding just too many colors. It really does give you a layered look. It's hard to describe exactly, but what I did on this one, I did the yellow and the pink, and then once I dried it, I turned it and put the yellow on top of the pink side and some of the pink on the yellow side, and you can see it's still showing the yellows and the pinks, and it hasn't turned like an ugly brown or like a weird orange or anything like that. It had a little bit of orange when it first mixed, but in layering on top of everything, you can still see the qualities of the fossilized amber and the worn lipstick. Now, once I dried it, I realized I wanted a little bit more pink. It was more yellow than I really wanted, so I just sprayed some more of the pink that I put down, because I put down fresh pink, and I'm adding the worn lipstick to areas where I might have gotten too much of the fossilized amber, and I'm happy with that. Now that to me looks more like a marbled, not necessarily marbled, but it's more of a cohesive pattern. And then I wanted to show also, you could do this with just one color and get layers as well. So I'm going to take another one of the pieces. Now this one I decided to wet the paper first. I wanted to get it, nice and wet. And then I'm still going to put the ink to the table, to the mat itself. And for this one, we're using fired brick. And then we're going to take the wet paper and put it down. And you'll see what it does is it creates a softer first layer. And because the paper itself was already wet, you can lift it up, move the ink around, and get a nice even, for the most part, even color all across your whole page. And I just tapped on my paper towel where the edge where all the water was pooling. And we're just going to make sure this is all completely dry. And that's the key with the oxides. For the layering of color, you have to make sure that your first layer, or whatever layer you're on, is completely dry before you go back to the ink and try and continue in making more layers. So I'm going to put down some more of the fired brick. And this time, I didn't want to spray a whole bunch of water, because I really wanted more of a concentrated color at first. And then I sprayed more on the mat to get some more of the color up and add more layers to my panel. And then we're going to heat it up again. And it does help using the heat tool, because you can see right away if you like how a certain section is turning out. Once it dries, it shows you the more exact of what your final piece is going to look like. You know what I mean? So if you need more of the pink, or if you wanted to take color away, you can see what you need to do. If you wanted to scrap it and start with another piece. I actually like these. I think these would work as a decent background, and you could build a card up on top of that. Now this one I started off camera, and I just used some of the fire brick, but I'm going to show you what happens when you use a totally different color. So I'm pulled out my faded jeans. We're going to spray that one just like we did the others, and we're going to start smooshing on this one. And we're just going to go right on top of the pink. And I'm even spraying on the card itself, so that way some of the color will start to move. And I realized right there, I was happy. I liked how some of the fired brick that we used originally was peeking through. I thought it gave it good character, and it gave it like a more distressed look. And this would be great for a masculine card. And then I'm just heating it up. You'll always see me from time to time. I may heat something from the back. It's just so that way I can try and help minimize the warping. And then as I was doing this, I was like, you know what? I want to go around the edge so that the edge has a nice, you know, deep blue color. Not messing with anything on the inside, because like I said, I like the peekaboos of the reds and the colors. Just literally tapping the sides, like creating an edge around the whole thing. And that way I don't waste any of the color. And just heating as you go, heating as you go. That way you can see if another side needs a little bit more, or if you're good. So now I'm just going to kind of wipe down the spot. And I just used water right there just to get up most of it. And then to clean off my mat, sometimes I use my stamp cleaner or like a baby wipe. You know, whatever will get the ink and stuff up. So those are the colors that we used. And they created these 3 backgrounds. Now on Sunday, this Sunday coming, I'm going to try and use the same technique. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a layout or maybe like a set of cards, but I love doing backgrounds, so that's what we're going to focus on. So we'll see how we get that figured out. I'm going to have links down below to the Distress Oxide inks at the website for Scrapbooking with me on, I think it's .com. And if you guys have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so. And I will see you guys, like I said, with our next video. I do have a Friday sketch video, and then on Sunday we'll have, like I said, the technique retake. So I'm still not sure exactly how I'm going to use it, but it'll either be on a layout or it's going to be a series of cards, okay? So you guys take a look at that. And like I said, make sure you click those links down below. They'll lead you to scrapbookingwithme.com, where they have a lot of different sales going on. And I believe we have the new set of Oxide inks. So definitely take a look over there. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day.